Alright, picture this. It's the morning of the 9th of September. The injured pedestrian X is out for a stroll with her dog. It's just a regular day. Until it's not. Out of nowhere, a truck, driven by at-fault truck driver Y, comes barreling down an bend. And guess what happens next? The truck loses control, flips and rolls. Now, pedestrian X does the logical thing, tries to get as far away from the road as possible. But, well, let's just say the truck had other plans. It rolls right over her, trapping her beneath it. Not the kind of morning walk she signed up for, but wait, it gets worse. She wakes up, disoriented, buried in sand and, with diesel dripping on her head. Yes, diesel. Now, I don't know about you, but if I'm lying under a truck covered in sand and diesel, my first thought would be, am I about to explode? So naturally she panics. What next? Pedestrian X is rushed to Rockingham Kwinana District Hospital before being transferred to Fremantle Hospital. It's here that the real journey begins. Not a journey you want to be on, mind you, because what follows is an ordeal involving multiple surgeries, hospital stays, and endless rehabilitation. So what exactly did she endure? Let me give you a visual. We're talking severe pelvic fractures, rib fractures, a fracture of the radial styloid, that's a fancy term for a wrist fracture, and enough lacerations and bruising to make you wince. Oh, and did I mention the post-traumatic stress disorder? Yeah, because surviving a near-death experience under a truck comes with some mental scars too. And here's where it gets really intense. Those injuries, they didn't just affect her physically. Mentally, she was dealing with flashbacks, nightmares, and full-blown anxiety every time she got into a car. Heck, even in her own home, she struggled. Small, everyday tasks became monumental. Intimacy with her husband? Almost impossible, because every time he was near, she was back under that truck in her mind. Now, let's talk about at-fault truck driver Y, the guy who kicked off this entire saga. He was found at fault, obviously. His truck, his control, or lack thereof, his mess. So, with that determination, the injured pedestrian X did what anyone in her situation would do, filed a compensation claim. And here's where things get legal. The court heard her case, and they did not hold back. The injuries, the mental health struggles, the inability to work full-time again, they accounted for all of it. The result? $156,094.79 in motor vehicle accident compensation. Yep, you heard that right. That sum covered everything from pain and suffering to future medical expenses, and considering she had to undergo multiple surgeries, plate and screws in her pelvis, removal of a pin in her leg and hydrotherapy several times a week, it's fair to say that every cent was justified. Now, the insurer for at-fault truck driver Y wasn't thrilled, but they coughed up the compensation because, well, they had to. The medical evidence was rock solid. Dr. Desmond Williams, the orthopedic surgeon, testified about how these types of pelvic fractures are some of the most complex to deal with. They don't just heal and disappear, they linger, often with pain and mobility issues that last a lifetime. And, of course, there was also the psychiatric evidence from Dr. Peter Burville, who made it clear that PTSD was a huge factor. So yeah, the court wasn't about to let that slide. They ruled that her inability to return to full-time work, and even part-time at times, was directly linked to the physical and mental trauma from the accident. Now let's take a moment to appreciate the sheer scale of recovery here. This isn't your usual rest for 6 weeks, and you're back to normal situation. The injured pedestrian X had to go through extensive rehab. Hydrotherapy became her lifeline, keeping her mobility somewhat intact. Her family, bless them, stepped up big time, helping her with daily tasks, because she just couldn't do them herself. So where does this leave us? Well, this case isn't just about one woman's struggle to get justice after a horrific accident. It's a reminder, if you've been injured in a motor vehicle accident in Western Australia, don't wait. Get legal representation, fast. Because the truth is, insurance companies, they aren't going to hand over that compensation easily. Without the right support, you could miss out on what you're entitled to. Pedestrian X's story might have a resolution, but that doesn't mean the pain has gone away. She still deals with the after effects of that day, but at least now she has the compensation to help her through the long road of recovery. And just when you think it's all done, here's the kicker. At-fault truck driver Y. Well, no one's quite sure what he's up to now. Maybe he's still taking those bends a bit too fast. Let's just hope this was a one-off. So, if you're ever out walking your dog, maybe keep an eye out for those trucks, because honestly, you never know. And that's the story of a walk gone terribly wrong.